Check, check. Hello, hello, hello. Is the mic working? My speakers are muted. Check, check. Hello, hello, hello. I think we're good. See if I can round up some people to get in here. If you're watching the recording, feel free to skip ahead a few minutes and we're going to get started. Hello, Bolo. How's it going? Where else can I don't know. Do people share things on Reddit? I don't think people share streams on Reddit. I'm just trying to see if I can get some folks in here. How to market a game, Good Old Cafe, Canadian game devs, not really. Actually, you know what? I'm not really sharing the right link to the stream. Hi, why does YouTube do it this way? They make it so challenging. Let's fix that. And one more place. Good-o, good-o, good-o. All right. I'm probably going to get started. I don't think I can share this anywhere else. Did I update it in my own Discord? No, I didn't. Oops. All right. Let's get to it. So we're going to close this down. That's working. That's good. Screen is now showing. The first thing I actually want to do this morning is work on this little book thingy that I was messing around with last night. I have a lot of fun with it, actually. This book will be actually how you save in the game. Believe it or not, that's the idea here. So you open this book. I got some nice bone animation here. Ooh, very nice, very nice. What I want to do is I want to render this in transparent mode. And you know what? That's not the right chat window. Oops. Maybe I figure out the chat window, then we get started. How do I do that? Oh, what is it called? Stream elements? Stream dashboard? Stream something? I'm pretty sure there's like a YouTube chat just thingy. Stream elements? Sorry, for the folks that are in here, I'm behind the ball. I gave up on Restream because Restream kind of sucks. So I'm working on getting a chat window up so you guys can see that your comments are really here. Alternatives to stream elements. I can't remember how I do this. Oh, here we go. Dashboard. Overlays, dashboard. I think I can show you guys this stuff. I don't make any money on streaming my stuff. I'm just trying to remember how the heck do I set up a overlay. Yeah, overlay gallery. Is there a YouTube? Ugh, I just want a YouTube chat overlay. And I can't remember how to do it. It's probably going to be a browser. YouTube chat overlay. Streamlabs. Is it Streamlabs? Oh no, please don't tell me. I'm not in Streamlabs. How come there's not just like a chat overlay? What am I missing here? These are themes. I need a widget. Multi-channel chat for Twitch. Not for Twitch, I need it for YouTube. Chat. I might not figure this out right now. I'm now realizing. But there must be a way to just make a simple HTML elements. Let's see. Elements gallery. Good God. What is all of this? I'm such a baby when it comes to streaming stuff. Like, I know how to code and I know how to do this stuff. I just have put less than zero effort into it. Okay. Is there really just no like YouTube chat overlay for OBS? Is that not a thing? Use Restream. They have a chat capture that's really cool, and you don't actually use Restream service if you don't want to. Okay, tell me more. Browser extension version of socialstream.ninja. Okay, cool. Cool. I don't want to have to download anything. I just want to use an HTML. YouTube, HTML, chat, overlay. for OBS. I do use OBS. I just want to make I feel like I should be able to just make a new overlay, right? Sure, 1080p. Let's call it YouTube chat. Can I not do this? Oh, here we go. Your stream's chat. Okay. Is that it? How does it know what source I'm using? And can I not preview it? Don't share the link that you just saw in case anybody is here. Emulate. I think I can just copy this in. Add source. Browser? I guess it's a browser. Chat. YouTube chat. And URL. There we go. Did it work? I don't think it worked. Good morning. Haven't fully actually started yet. Oh, I really messed this up. So settings, position size. This is 250 by 400. Aha. So my settings are all messed up here. 250 by 400. Do I need to? I probably need to publish this or something. There's something I need to do. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Huh. I don't really know how this thing works. I assumed this would just work, but maybe that's naive. What if I type in the chat myself? Can I do that? Oh, how come I can't do that? Why does YouTube got to make this stuff so complicated? Oh, I just want a chat window. Let's see. If I go right click and I refresh, is there a refresh? Local file overlay, blah, blah, blah. Background color, overflow hidden. Sure. Refresh cache. Stream elements. How to make a YouTube chat widget. Oh. If you're not using the plugin, make sure you have the settings advanced. Oh, am I missing a source or something? Yeah. All right. Well, maybe we don't get chat today on screen. That might just be what happens here. I mean, is this not it? God, I really don't know what I'm doing with streaming sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. Show maps is just currently, yeah. Maybe it is working. Maybe I just gotta chat. Maybe I just gotta start talking. YouTube. Well, this stream is off to a rip-roaring start. Let's go Michael Jared. Oh god, no feedback. Okay. What the hell? Okay, that's weird. Cancel that. What's happening? Oh, I'm in my wrong profile. So, in theory, if I say hello... No, my chat module's not working. Darn. I guess that's gonna be what that is. No chat display today. That's all right. We proceed. I'm not spending any more time on this because, you know, can't be at it. Someday I will figure out how to master the YouTube chat feature. For now, back to this bad boy. So, excuse me. What I want to do today is we're working on this saving mechanic, which is going to be pretty sweet. I'm super, super excited about it. I feel like an idiot for not putting it in my game sooner. But that's okay. I think what I need next is I want to do a render of this book, perhaps with it a touch open. Yeah, sure. I want to get an angle on it. Can I rotate this whole? Blender is horrendous for trying to. Yeah, like rotating something after the fact is basically impossible. There you go. Yeah, this is kind of the angle I want. And I'm just going to render a little graphic of the book. Kind of like this angle. I don't like that reflection, but that's... Maybe we can play with that. So I just want to render... I don't know if you guys know how to do this. Fun fact, you can render your viewport display in Blender. Why would you want to do this, you may ask? Well, first answer is that it's just very fast. I guess you guys can't fully see what I'm doing here. I upgraded recently. I got a bigger display. And, of course, now all my stream settings are... no es bueno. So what you can do here is you can set your... There's a setting here to set it to transparent. I believe it's under film. If we go to cycles, film, set it to transparent. And then if you go view, viewport render image, see this? You get a nice transparent image of that thing you want to render. And the kind of neat byproduct of doing it this way is that you always get consistent lighting because you're just using Blender's viewport lighting. And do I have the same level of artistic control? No. But also, do I care? No. This is just for a tiny icon, right? So this is going to be for one of my in-game icons. So let's find that UI. What even is this? It's not an inventory icon. It's kind of a different icon. We can put in... I used to have like Bushcraft guide icons. Where the heck is that? Inventory icons, tool icons. Cursor icons. Yeah, I can't remember what I did. This has kind of become a giant unorganized mess as things go. But if we look at the actual project folder for a second, and we go to guide. Yeah, it's these guys. So these are like guide icons, and they're all 128 by 128. So I think I can finagle this in there. I think I just need a guide icon. So we're just going to put this as logbook.png, save. And what I can do, UI, other, guide. I can just kind of resize it. So let's do our magic in GIMP. And yeah, because what I need is I really need a Bushcraft guide section for this. So that'll be pretty easy to add. I just need to come down here and add a logbook. We're going to put in an icon. Right now it's null. But the type is going to be a guide type mechanic. This needs a refactor eventually. My original idea was I wanted to have like different guide types in the game for all the different stuff that I do. So I think that the idea is still good, but it's very old actually. Like the system I'm using is crazy old for that. And so I don't think I did it like the best possible way when I first made it, you know, as things go when you first make a system. Oh god, I hate it when I accidentally rotate in GIMP. It's because if you kind of use Blender's controls and then you come to GIMP, it's like you got to reorient your brain. All right, canvas. Well, first let's do 1080 by 1080. How about that? And so here's our square, but I don't, I think we can crop this better. Let's just go for it. Let's just do image canvas. Let's do 128. I like saving the raw though. Let's save this in that. So I have this external pipeline, and that's just a good place for me to like save raw images that I might reuse later for other things. I don't know if I have a great reason for it right now, but it's better to have it than not. That way I don't have to come back. But I want to scale this whole thing down. So there's probably a smarter way to do this. But I'm going to go 128 by 128. And then we're going to resize this to more or less fit this. Now interpolation, I don't think I want this on none. I think I should. I wish it showed you a preview of the interpolation. It doesn't, which is a pain. Let's try that again with no. Sometimes the pixel interpolation is kind of cool. So like actually I think it shows you the pixel interpolation. So, which in this case I do kind of like. Yeah, I think that's cool. Because remember, we're going to be viewing it at this distance. So, I think that's pretty good. Alpha to selection. I think I just drop a black border on all my icons. It would be nice if I were more consistent about that, but what can I say? I'm a one-man band over here. I gotta cut some corners somewhere. Other guide. Logbook. So yeah, we're going to overwrite this, I think. We're going to overwrite that. We're going to check and see what the logbook looks like in the engine. Looking good. I hate UIDs with a passion. Not sure if other Godot developers feel similarly. but they drive me nuts. Okay, to save the game, all right, use the logbook to save the game. When you are inside a cabin, you can click on the logbook and your game's progress will be saved. In survival mode, there is only a single save slot. You can set up multiple save slots in sandbox mode. All right, let's go with that and see what this this bad boy looks like. There's like another change I think I want to do before I jump into like a full playtest here. Hopefully that audio level is good. Can hear it on my end. Looks good. We're not quite at 1080p, so this is slightly less than 1080p. So hopefully it doesn't look too blurry. Oh, you know what else I want to do? It's been driving me nuts. I refactored this. And I want to change the minimum size of the tool panel. X. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, there we go. What is the width on the Steam Deck? The Steam Deck, what's the Steam Deck res? Steam Deck resolution. 1280 by 800. So if I do a minimum of 1000 here, this is where it gets annoying, because I want to have, like, what does this panel look like when it's at the Steam Deck resolution? I think it, ugh, that's kind of ugly. You know what? I'll come back to the Steam Deck resolution later. 1280 by... Yeah, I think that minimum size is going to screw us more than help us there. The only thing that's problematic is now this window is slightly too large. I just realized that. Oh, you know what? It's because I add these colors. It's because I added those colors. So yeah, we'll take out that minimum size. We're going to live with this for now. And I just want to... we can hit continue. So I've been playing around with the save mechanic. There's one more change I know I need to make, and then we're probably going to play test. But what I want to see right now is if I go into the guide. Oh yeah, so here's our new logbook entry. Let's read this, make sure this works. Use the logbook to save the game. When you're inside a cabin, you can click on the logbook and save your game's progress. A little bit inconsistent here with my cases and stuff. When you're inside a cabin, you can click on the logbook and you can interact with the logbook to save your game's progress. Okay. That should be all right. The other thing that's not quite right is that you notice that when we continue a game, it has our survival timer complete. So this is like, there's a conceptual issue here where I think that's fine, but I think I want it to be reset once you go home. Kind of. I kind of want it to be reset when you go home. So that's something I need to think about. Like when I call in the chopper, right? So if I call in the helicopter, my idea is if I call in the chopper and we go home, I kind of want that to reset so that you can go on a, quote, another run, but continue your game with this save file. So, I'm not sure how that's going to shake out yet. Because I want this number here to still show, like, your total run progress in the game. And then there's going to be a secondary issue. There's going to be a secondary issue with this, I think. Oh, no, maybe this is okay. 0 days. That might be broken. And I guess the other thing that doesn't make sense is you can, like, infinitely restart the tutorial on this run, which is, wow, that's horrifying. I didn't realize you started the game in T-pose. That's that's a new one. Okay, all right. I should probably write that down somewhere. So apparently, when you load in the game, you just start in T-pose. I don't normally see that with the sun being where it normally is. So probably what I want to do is I want to start a brand new run and actually pretend I'm playing the game. So we're going to quit. I am going to treat this like we're going to save. We're going to delete everything. Quits the game. Reload it. We're going to treat this like a new run, like a brand new. I have never played this game before. Mind you, it says 260 hours. That's not right. It's way more than that. This was like 500 the other day. I don't know what happened. Steam getting confused. So we got this new brightness adjustment. I'm pretty happy with this, honestly. And the way it works is pretty simple. There's some text on the screen here, and what the brightness does is it affects the World 3D's brightness and contrast adjustments. So relative to this white text, I want this to be like super visible. And I think this works. This makes the whole thing, the adjustment's really good. So, is the desktop audio too loud? Perhaps a touch? So we're gonna just start a new run, and I'm gonna try to find some bugs. We have no reason to have wire, we have no reason to have bait at this point. My skill tree is totally empty. And I honestly forget. So there's a hatchet upgrade, folding saw upgrade, wire saw still doesn't exist yet, whetstone, knife. Fishing and trapping. The backpack upgrade is pretty powerful, honestly. That's pretty sick. Hello, Master Bro Network. Welcome in. And an anemometer. There's not like a great reason to have this in the game just yet. I'm just realizing this. And the thermometer. I need to get that done because that one is useful. The wind speed is like vaguely useful. The upgraded handsaw crashed me in my friend's game. Oh. That's because it's... Sorry, I'm not laughing at your misfortune. The model literally doesn't exist in the game yet. This should not be... You should not be able to upgrade to that. Let me write that down. God, I have not gotten far on this playtest yet. 2 bugs so far. So, upgraded wire saw. Upgraded. What? I just gotta do it. I just gotta get the. I gotta get the wire saw just done. Upgraded wire saw crashes. That is kind of crazy. I didn't even think that you would be able to click on it, but apparently I screwed something up. All right, so let's do it. Beginner, sure. We'll do the tutorial. Fine, for the 1000th time. It's okay. I need to do it. Yeah. And my goal is to pretend I'm going on this run for real. I gotta make sure debug is off. Turn all the clear all debug. We're not in debug mode. All right, welcome to Bushcraft Survival. During the tutorial, your stats are locked, giving you time to learn. Look around by moving the mouse and move with WASD. Okay. Heads up, new feature. The cabins will now show on the map wherever they spawn in, because I realized I just need to show you that. What the assumption is that this dude who's going into the bush, he knows where the cabins are. Like, part of this journey is like understanding, like knowing where the public use cabins are. So I only remove that in survivalist mode, right? So I think that works. That's what we figured. I thought, hey, maybe the wire saw doesn't have it. Yeah, it's not in the game yet. So my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Press 2 to equip your hatchet. Yes, sir. Let me know if I'm dropping frames on the stream or anything. I've got this like NVIDIA background removal thing running, so it's kind of screwing with my graphics card. But in good news, that game is hella optimized now, so I think I can actually run that without, you know, destroying the universe. All right, let's get hacking. Let's get hacking away. What do you want me to do next? Press escape. Check how many boughs you've collected. That black outline is not very visible. Yep, that icon is very hard to see. Okay, I got 11. Nice. We're on a slightly smaller resolution than 1080p, so I'm curious how much the UI is going to handle that. Ooh, that lock icon is small. Let's fix that. That's going to be a bug we fix right now because that is gross. Why did I make this so tiny? What is wrong with me? Let's change this to 0.5 at least. Sure, that's mildly better. Some of these timers are insanely long. Also, things in your cordage can save over each different runs. Oh. That's a new one. Cordage is not complete, sadly. I did not complete the cordage mechanic. I have lots of cool stuff planned for it. It'll be a crafting component eventually. I just gotta get I gotta get a crafting table in the game, but that's coming. Like if I put something in my cordage and I start a new run with my friend. Oh, really? That's surprising. That is a really weird bug because between runs, like I only just implemented saving. Like nobody has this version, this build except me. So that is surprising. All right. Folding saw works faster than a hatchet. Equipped with blah, blah, blah. Felled logs can be cut into firewood or smaller logs. Plus right click and select saw small logs to saw it into smaller pieces. I think this is where a lot of people screw up the tutorial because the little gotcha is I'm trying to get you to saw it into logs, not into good old firewood. We might be getting some frame rate drops here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to crank down the resolution scale just a smidge because of my old camera graphics situation. All right, we're gonna pick up this log. We have a log. Glad to know all this stuff still works. Press B to turn on build mode. The build icon is shown below. Now place the log back on the ground with left click. It seems kind of useless to do that back and forth. Now you know how to pick up and put down objects. All right. Okay. 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 Cool. Find 2 trees that are an arm span apart. Turn on build mode with B. Connect the log between the trees by holding left click. So let's find a good spot. How about this one? No, it's too far. Maybe it's okay. This is a difficult instruction to convey what I want the players to actually do here. And I've iterated on this a lot, believe it or not. Oh, I like these 2 better. These 2 trees are better. There's still something a little janky about this. I don't know. Feels a bit weird, but it's okay. To see the rest of the instructions for the build, open the Bushcraft guide. Click on Lean-To Shelter. Wow. See, this is like too much text, I think. I think most players are just like, oh, I'm not reading all this. I gotta learn to be more concise. Excuse me. A lean-to shelter is a basic type of outdoor shelter. Lay down the cross post. Find 2 trees that are roughly an arm span apart. The wider the gap, the more logs you will need to fill, blah, 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 blah. There will be lots of boughs and branches in your way. Clear them off with the hatchet before continuing. Lay down the lean logs. I think I can make this more concise. Cover with boughs, cover with moss. Yeah. Ooh, here's our logs. So what I want to do in sandbox mode is I want this these logs to be, you know, like in sandbox, I want you to be able to just spawn in resources as you want. The other thing I want is this, you guys probably haven't seen this before, but in sandbox mode, I want you to be able to fast forward the time because that's kind of fun. And it's kind of fun just watching the skybox rotate above head. I don't really remember what the condition is to finish this build. Installing right now on my Steam Deck. Awesome. Happy to hear it. Steam Deck is not fully tested. I don't even own a Steam Deck. I really wanted one. I asked Valve for a dev one, and they ignored me. Classic. No, actually, Steam support is crazy good, even for like tiny developers like myself. They actually do respond and answer my questions. So, but I don't have a Steam Deck yet. I'm gonna get one very soon. My game dev studio is now like a real business, so I can actually, you know, expense that and include that as part of my like studio's, you know. You could probably consider it a capital asset, but don't know if anyone really cares for something that's like $800. I could just expense it as like a consumable kind of dealio. But what do I know? Here's another. There's also a glitch where you can get infinite moss from a tree. Yeah. I do know about that one. It sounds ridiculous, but that has been one of the hardest bugs to solve in the game. The tree system is mind-numbingly complicated. For better or for worse. It probably could be simplified. Ooh, we're catching some of the reflections on the snow. I don't see that very much. And you can really see the normal maps in the snow when the sun sets, eh? The footprint system is like the thing I'm actually the most proud of in this whole ridiculous video game. Excuse me, I can't seem to clear my throat. We need to get some boughs. I think I got some, which is pretty sweet. I think it is nice in tutorial mode that you can just focus on building the shelter and not have any, not have any worry about it, basically. I don't need to be worried about freezing my ass off. Yeah, I think this is about the right number of boughs. You could go crazy with covering it, but you'll run out, but that's okay. Actually, you know what? I think I'm jumping ahead here. Switch to the belt knife with 3, find some moss. Using the knife, you can right-click to inspect. This system is not great. Like, while it is somewhat realistic that in real life you would have to basically go up to a bunch of trees to find, like, to look for moss, from a video game sense, it kind of sucks. Also, I love how the trees work now for, like, showing the white of the moon. That was an unintentional thing, but I ran with it. When you saw down a tree, let's try it. So let's try to saw down this one. It might be hard to replicate, but let's see. It could be multiplayer mode as well. Yeah, so I'm not able to get any more moss from that one. I think that's a multiplayer bug, the moss one. Basically, one of the things you have to do in multiplayer mode is you have to, like, I know this sounds obvious, but, like, you have to, like, synchronize the game world between all the clients. And the challenge in a game like this one, because it's a procedural game, is how do you actually determine, like, who the owner of that information is? So the way it works right now is whoever, like, hosts the lobby ends up being the owner of the information. But yeah, so let's put on some of this sweet moss. That should be alright. We can probably insulate a little bit more from the inside. Just a little trick I picked up while playing the game about 1,000,000 times. Cool. Alright, fire materials, tinder, branches, firewood. You know what? I can fix this tutorial step just a little bit. I think this should say collect fire materials. Alright, so we're going to equip the belt knife. To find tinder, locate a dead tree and hold left click with the belt knife equipped. Right here. Here we go. I legit want to playtest this for like a couple hours today and see how far I can get. See if I can get to like ice fishing. That would be a great milestone, honestly. One thing I just thought about that's a problem. Your first playthrough is always in the tutorial world, and the tutorial world is fixed. So that's kind of boring. Like everyone's first world is the same. I'm wondering, do I kick you out of the game when the tutorial is complete? No, that wouldn't be very satisfying. Where's my shelter? Okay. Now ready to start a fire. Select tinder. Okay. And place it at the entrance of the shelter. I don't know how to communicate this one. Like the shelter's here, right? It needs to go like there-ish. Another change I really want to make is I want to make every object a physics object. I've kind of taken an approach like that not everything's a physics object to kind of make the world a bit more predictable. But I'm wondering if that is like shooting myself in the foot. I think it has to have moss on it, then cutting it down and begin to collect the moss. Oh, you know what? Let's try that right now. Let's try that right now. Because I've been trying forever to find the origin of this bug, and I never could replicate it. Here we go. So this tree has moss. Have not collected it. We're going to saw down the tree. And we're going to now collect moss from it and see what happens. I think it's a multiplayer bug, if I'm being honest, but let's see what happens. There should be maximum... Yeah, so this one's out of moss. I think it's a multiplayer bug. So I'll figure it out eventually. You know what I don't like? I hate how the flint and striker is like off center. I don't know how that happened. I think it originally was centered. Now it's off center. You scroll up, scroll down to select firewood. Place 3 firewood on the fire now. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't jump and change the physics system. I like the fact that certain objects are static and certain objects have physics, because what that allows you to do is that the junks really do get placed on top of those branches. If I gave hard, box collisions to those branches, the junks would like float on top of them a bit. You fell through the map. That has happened to a surprising number of people. It happens to me occasionally. I haven't figured out exactly how to fix that one. It's just the physics system in the engine doing its thing, mostly. Alright, we got a bed here. Ooh, nice and cozy. I'm gonna get some more firewood first, just because I want that sweet, sweet firewood stocked up here at my camp. And because this is a run that I care about now. And you know what? Let's take a beat here and sharpen up our hatchet. Oh, that's a fun bug. I thought I fixed that a long time ago. Apparently not. I shouldn't be showing messages like this when the action is happening, but those actions are a little bit different in how they work. So I'm wondering if there's just some weirdness there. We're gonna make a whole bunch of firewood. We're just gonna make a metric crap ton of it. So the menu's controller is not working in game. It does work. The UI in game is cut off. I think it's because of the 16:10. Yeah, that's my fault. The Steam Deck resolution used to work. But like I said, I have not had a great way of testing that. So unfortunately, it's kind of broken right now for Steam Deck. But I am gonna focus on that soon. On getting it working better, because I think Steam Deck is going to be an important way that people want to play this game. I just have a sense of that. I mean, so many people play on the Steam Deck these days, I think it would just be kind of ridiculous for me not to have Steam Deck support. But I need to get one. I need to get a Steam Deck. So, if the Valve gods are listening, can you please respond to my request for a dev kit? They don't do that very often. I think they do that for like big companies. They give developers like the low end Steam Deck just to test their games on. But they're probably not going to do that for me, and I don't blame them. I am probably not worth it. Too early for self-deprecating humor. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. We got 2 more. And then I'm gonna bring these logs over because I don't need any more firewood. But I want the logs next to my camp. Yeah, the whole tie with cordage system that needs a refresh eventually. It doesn't quite make sense in its current format. All right, let's throw a couple more junks on the fire, and then let's get to bed. All right, so hopefully this all works. So we sleep. I haven't run through the tutorial in its current iteration, so this is all good. All right, finally. All right, so you can save your progress in Bushcraft Survival by locating a public use cabin. Use the map from the pause menu to locate a cabin. Okay, good. So it is visible. Now, this is like my first test of like, can you orient yourself in space and follow a marker on the map? You can't saw trees down? Are you in multiplayer or single player? Public use cabins. Cabins serve as a safe resting place. I gotta update this. You can save your game. Okay, let's update that. That's a good little update there. You can save your game, find essential resources, new tools, and light a fire for warmth. Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one. I did make some fixes recently that aren't public yet, so perhaps they will fix some stuff. I did notice some stuff in sandbox mode and saving and whatnot. Sign the logbook in the cabin to save the game. All right, we save in the game. We got to check. You are now ready to face the bitter cold alone. When you leave this cabin, your stat locks will go away. There's much more to learn and do in Bushcraft Survival, so make sure you read the Bushcraft guide in the pause menu. To claim your survival points, call the helicopter while inside the cabin. Use the satellite phone when you have met your survival goal. That last part is worded a little bit weird, but that's all right. Yeah, so that is end of tutorial. That all seemed to behave well. I don't have any errors in the console or anything. So let's call in the chopper. Oh, my run isn't finished. 26 minutes to go. Okay, that timing actually works out really good. So by the time you finish the tutorial, about a day has gone by. And now we are learning that our stats are unlocked. So I'm a little bit wet, I'm not covered, and I did sleep last night. So I do want to make sure the day counters and everything like that continues. And I'm going to try upgrading my skill tree as well. All right. So there's only one way in and out. That's weird. How do I... In and out of the bush when you are this far north. Get inside a public use cabin and call in the helicopter using your satellite phone. All right. Okay. Yeah, you can send a clip in the Discord. That would be helpful if you can put it under bugs. The only thing about Discord is that it has to be under 10 megabytes, so that's a bit of a pain. But, I mean, worst case, you can upload it to YouTube and do like an unlisted link or something. Alright, so I need to get to inside a public cabin. Let's do that. I need to get inside a cabin so they can find me. How about that? Yeah. Alright, let's call it. So, I'm happy about all these things. This is finally fixed as well. I don't know if you noticed this, but one of the cool things that happens now is that the ground surrounding the cabin gets flattened. So those bugs where a cabin can be generated on a slope is finally fixed. Thank God. That took a year. Not a year, but it took several months. So the ground around the cabin is flattened, and you'll always have this like nice little landing pad area in front of the cabin for the helicopter to show up. So that's all pretty sweet. I'm definitely happy with all that. Ready to leave. See the ground stats. Level up your skill tree and head home. Let's make sure this works properly. Yes, leave. Oh no. Crash. We got a game crash. So I did try to save. That's good. I'm curious what was freed up. What is my node here? If val is node 3D. And we should say and instance valid val. I think I should fix it. Something got freed somewhere. Okay. That we just had the one bug. And then it was okay. We might have lost some save data, but that's all right. What else I want to test is that you don't have to spend the skill points right now. You don't have to spend it like right at this point in time. So I survived 1.2 days. I felled 3 trees, dead branches, green boughs, firewood chopped, time fire lit, time spent wet, freezing, sleep deprived, burned, buckets of water melted. That's a weird phrasing. Let's say pots of water melted. Skill tree. End round. T-scene. Yeah. Let's do pots of water melted. Bed comfort. Let's do sleeping comfort. Night slept. So let's see. That's all good. This is not right though, because I did sleep on an insulated bed of boughs. So there's a little bug here. Let's check that out. So if we go to interact actions and sleep, Q sleep. Oh God, that's not what I want to close down. Multiplayer makes everything so much more complicated. When you sleep in multiplayer mode, you have to like queue it with your friends, and then everybody goes down together. So it's interesting. Insulated is true. Oh yeah. I'm just straight up missing round data bed boughs. Is that what that is? Night slept, sleeping comfort, bed boughs. Oh. Yeah, that needs to be reworked. That needs to be reworked. Okay, we'll put a TBD here. TBD, this is kind of broken. Should be an indicator of how well you slept. That's fine. All right, so we go back to start. Now we get continue, which is neat. What is wrong with my window? Why is it not? There we go. It's a bit better. Just posted it in bugs. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. So I still have 2 skill points. That's good. That's all correct. That is all correct. Now, this menu doesn't necessarily make sense after your first. This is what I'm trying to figure out. All right, like why should you be able to set the tutorial after your first save? Probably not. Yeah, you should be able to change the difficulty, but you should only get on the leaderboard if you were survival difficulty the whole time. So there's lots of little like nuances here that I haven't quite figured out. So if we continue here, the thing I'm a little nervous about is I don't want there to be just like free XP that you can farm. So if I try to call this in again, we'll see if that bug's fixed first of all. So calling the helicopter again. There it is. I want to make sure this error goes away. So we'll make sure that doesn't happen again. Output. But yeah, this is not quite ready. It's very close. It came together much faster than I expected. The bug you mentioned might only be in the tutorial? Oh, interesting. So I get 130 XP automatically, and I'm curious where that's coming from. It's because there's a fire lit in the game. There's a fire lit in the game. So let's try again. At least we can get the bug this time. We'll see how well the save system is working. So I lit this big bonfire last time, right? So if we find, oh, and the helicopter needs to, that's a bug. The helicopter icon needs to go away. Helicopter icon should never save. I think that's the correct approach there. The helicopter icon should not save. We should take a look at that right now. So if we look at helicopter heli.gd, I don't remember where the icon is. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, I want to skip this in the save sequence. So if we skip the helicopter markers in the save sequence. So let's look at where that happens. Should be here. Oh, this is easy. So if m.mtext equals, this is a little bit ad hoc, but whatever, equals helicopter. You know, we can do better. We can do better. If the icon, because this is less likely to change, this mapping won't change. Where did I save M icons? I'm always refactoring stuff and moving stuff. I'll put it in pause. Okay. Sure. All right, so we're literally just going to try to not save the helicopter icon because it should never save. So that one is resolved, but just needs testing. I'll put a check next to that. The other thing I wanted to see is if we can we make our way back to our original stash? We got to book it because we're starting to freeze. And I got to see how this game loop is starting to form up because I do feel motivated to make it back to camp. My fire is very much out. All right, but luckily we got lots of resources here, so that's good. So far this is making a lot of sense. We light a fire. I get some firewood on it, and we start warming up. Fun fact, another thing you can do is stoke the fire if you want to get a little extra heat out of it. Eventually I'm going to do like a little stick, like pokey pokey. But you can just keep stoking it if you want. I don't think the stoke doesn't always take effect. It kind of takes a minute. We do have a water we can drink. Let's drink some water. Don't need to eat a ration just yet. I think I need to... didn't notice, but did you include the whetstone in the tutorial? No. The whetstone was in the tutorial, but I cut it because people were not making it past that point. So I wanted to get to a point where people were playing the game long enough to see all the mechanics. You know what? Is there any skill tree requirement for like trapping? I think I removed that. Did I? Wire snare. Increase skill. How do I increase skill? Oh, I just need wire. I just don't have wire. Let's go see if there's any in that cabin in a minute. Maybe for now I can... No, tool's already sharp. Tool's already sharp. That's cool. We'll just chill for a minute. And why are these guys all at 0? Let's scatter these. And let's collect some water. Make sure this still works. Really? Oh, there's something wacky happening here. Let's scatter those. Yeah, something weird happening there. I also hate how the pot works. It like clips through things. That gotta be fixed. That's an annoying bug. That's a super annoying bug. But I'm gonna go see if there's any wire at the cabin. Oh, I guess I can I follow my tracks? Yeah, I can follow my tracks. That's kind of neat. And I changed the track clearing mechanic. Tracks only clear in a snowstorm, which I think is kind of smart. Because it's annoying, right? Your tracks are constantly resetting. Oh, here's a potential point of abuse. So I wonder if I save the game. Right, so I save the game, I quit. if I return, oh, I can just pack more stuff. So I think inventory needs to be fixed. Yeah. So nothing else appears on the table, which is the correct behavior, but I can always add more inventory in the start menu. So that's a wee problem. And in fact, it should keep your inventory from the past one. So right now I'm going to abuse that so I can bring some stuff. Let's see, why is it telling me that? Is there some animal tracks around here somewhere? That just seems like extremely random. If you create a multiplayer lobby and leave it again and go to the play tutorial, yeah, there's some bugs with multiplayer. That sounds about right. I'm gonna write that down. Oh, but hey, on the good news, my fire is still burning, which is all the correct behavior. Oh, and even the time on the thing maintained, so that's cool. That's very cool. Let's go. I'll probably sleep tonight, but then in the morning I'll probably look for some rabbit tracks. I'm gonna be right back. All right. In momento. I meant to actually hide this. Okay. BRB. I'm going to go on mute for another minute here because I'm going to be eating, and I don't want people to have to listen to that. All right, I'm back. Ooh, look at that moon. I love this. I changed something in the game to be what's called alpha scissoring transparency, and I just absolutely love how the moon looks now. Like when it like peeks over the trees, there's like, I don't know, something so atmospheric about it. I think even if I get like more fog in there, it'll be even better. I'm realizing there's a few things I want to do. So when you save the game in the cabin, I think I want the snow tracks to remain. But I think when you leave via the helicopter, I want the snow tracks to reset. So that's something I got to think about. Like, what's the data that retains when you just save versus like, and there's different behaviors. So like and I'm kind of just thinking out loud here, but when you save in the cabin, you shouldn't be able to like re-up your inventory and stuff. And that shouldn't count as a separate run. That should count as like, you know, the current run that you're on. But when you leave via the helicopter, that should reset your run, which I think is really smart. Oh, you know what? This wasn't insulated. It's already insulated? Oh, my... Oh, that is really interesting. The moss does not get saved? I'm finding lots of bugs today. Save props, save metas. It should. Oh, but you know what? Tree skeleton. No. Place moss. None of my moss saved. That's really weird. Write that as bugs. Moss did not save. Okay. No idea why that happened. All right, let's go. Let's sleep. Oh, fire ran out. That's not good. Water's freezing again. So this is a weird bug. So these coals should scatter after the fire goes out. So there's something very wrong with the coals. They should scatter, but they didn't. I mean, they should automatically scatter. We'll get another fire lit here. There's also a bug when you have a log between two trees and place more logs on it and then remove it. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know about that one. I'm not quite ready to solve that one. Not sure. I have to convert the logs back to what's called a rigid body, so. You just played 24 hours in the game to show a bug. Sorry about that. You don't worry about it. Like I'll find the bugs. I really appreciate your help, but like you don't have to like. All right, we're going rabbit hunting. I am starting to get thirsty, which means I should probably... How do I have 2 pots? Oh, because I took an extra one out with me. I'm not sure the terrain data saved either, now that I think about it, because I dug that hole before. There could be a couple bugs happening here. I need to... I should collect a few of those. Type of shelter I like to make is where you dig a hole and put a roof and live down Down in the hole. Yeah, that's fun. I've done that one too. That's cool. But there's probably a bug with it sounds like. There's also a visibility ordering bug there. I think I can see the ice through the snow. Which is not correct. My only concern is that like it's going to be too hard to find rabbit tracks. Like I play tested this with some friends a while back before Christmas. It took us like 2 days to find a rabbit. But maybe that's fine. Maybe that's like realistic. There's also acceleration in the game now. Hopefully that makes that feel a little nicer. Oh, I see one. Oh, here we go. Hello. Hello, Mr. Rabbit Track. Starts right here. We could put a stake down here. The thing with the rabbits is you don't want to scare them off. If you scare them off, then it'll take a while for them to respawn in. Oh, huh. I don't know if this is an actual rabbit trail or if I just... Oh, this is what I just scared him off, that's all. Okay. Well... I could leave my trap here, but I feel like that's a waste. Yeah, so I got my wire back. I got, yeah, still 5 branch stakes. I know there's a rabbit in this area, so what I'll do is I'll put a mini marker down. Possible rabbit. I just noticed another bug. My cabins keep spawning in every time I... Oh, okay. My cabin just disappeared. Great. I think there's a bug here. I think I need to save whether or not the map exists. Yeah. Oh, no, that's already being saved. Weird. That is being saved. Strange. Something weird there. And yeah, this is not right either. I think when we reload, we don't need to flatten the cabin each time, because when it's reloaded, if the dig map is working properly, that should just work. But I'm skeptical right now. Let's head back. Let's track this way to try to find the cabin again, and we can mark that again. And see if we see anything good on the way. Yeah, tracking is surprisingly tough in this game. And it's like, I mean, it's realistic, but I'm wondering, is it too tough? Like, even on the lowest difficult, I don't have no idea how to tune the difficulty on the tracking. The system's just too complicated. Oh, we found a cabin pretty easy. I guess I could save now that I'm here. Sure, I can take that. I don't really want this. I'm just gonna leave that there. But let's mark it. Let's mark this. Place marker. We'll just call it cabin. Oh, here we go. Here's a trail. All right, so I won't screw it up this time. There is rabbit tracks here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start placing some stakes, I think. Oh, they started and stopped. What happened? It's a little bit frustrating to play this with bugs in it, and I don't really know what they are currently. I just want this mechanic to work so badly because I think it's going to be fun. Being able to track. I think like the footprint tracking stuff is like one of the coolest things about this game. I'm very, very hyped about that. Which reminds me, I need to put in like skill point. Oh, okay. So this is a trail. This is a trail. It's just I happened to stumble upon it. See how it's red on the map now? There just hasn't been any rabbits here yet. Interesting. All right, we'll give it a go. We will give that a go. We'll run back to base camp and we'll check it tonight, tomorrow, at some point. You can actually sit there and watch if you want. I think I'm going to do binoculars at some point in the game, so that'll be a little bit more fun. Me fire be burning down. 1, 2, 3. That should be good. Let's cut some more. One thing I don't have a good solution for is like right now, there's no way to sharpen the folding saw. We shouldn't be using it that much. I guess you can. All right. Let's get a big blaze going on here. Just cause why not? And you know what? I need some water too, so let's pick that up. And let's put it... I have another pot that has water already. Yeah, so this is the weird thing about this game. You can have multiple pots. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but you could if you really wanted to. There's no issue with that. Oh, I can do 4. And I don't have a shovel or anything at this point in the game, so it feels kind of like I have infinite pots right now, but maybe that's just... No, okay, I just have the 1 extra one. Okay. I do be needing to drink some water. I would love to get to a point where I can ice fish on this run. So I'm going to try that next. And we're going to see what happens when I quit out of the run. Oh, hello. Hello, bunny rabbit. Now, here's the $1 million question. Are these tracks populating correctly? Oh, yeah, there's loads of them. Look. So this is how the mechanic is supposed to work. You spot a rabbit, you start tracking it, you try not to spook it away because that's kind of the risk that you run. And then once you track enough of this trail, you get a trail marker on your map because you, like, the idea is like, oh, okay, I know where this trail is. Oh, now they're crossing? Oh, that sucks. The trails are not supposed to cross themselves, but it could be another trail. Here we go. All right, so we got a trail here, so we can set down another one. Let's put down another one and try not to scare it away, and then we can see if we can get one. So if I put one here, let's put down this. And then this one is super close to camp. I could like kind of sit here and watch it. Let's do that because that's kind of fun. It's facing this way. Can we get a line of sight on it? Oh. It's probably a little too far away. Let's mark it at least. And you know what? I don't need that other marker. This one was a no bueno. So let's get some water because I'm getting super dehydrated. And I want to get some food. Oh yeah, I'm realizing the inventory thing is a real problem. So I should fix that before continuing. Because I can save my run right now and then fix the game and then continue if I do it right. Let's go check my other slip. I love how horrifying it is. Oh my god. Here we go. We got one. Alright, you will not be wasted, little guy. We're going to, we're going to make use of you. I can't put a carcass in my pack. Good point. So I got to gut it. Remove guts. Leaving animal guts out in the open will attract predators. Make sure to bury them in the snow. Cool. Alright, let's do that. Bury. Okay. And let's butcher this. Sweet. We're gonna get some food. Oh, we're overweight. That's alright, we're gonna cook it soon. We'll get to camp and then we'll be fine. And then I will sleep another night. Should sleeping save the game, I wonder? I probably could have sleeping save the game. But, like, it kind of reduces the push and pull a little bit too much. In my humble opinion. Let's cook some stuff and eat it. I can get my second pot out. Oh well, now we're really going. Get that water boiling. Watch the sunset. I can sharpen my hatchet as well. Okay, that bug is annoying. I don't really know what's going on there. It's okay. Oh, my rabbit is burning. Okay. Yay, we got some meat. Only have one? Oh, we gotta keep cooking it. Right. And you cook it one at a time for reasons that I can't quite explain. Oh, God. What just happened? It was supposed to drink water, but it skipped to picking it up. What is that? Why is it 400%? That is some very burnt snowshoe hare meat. The idea is that you get one cooking, you eat one. You want to kind of like, you know, get your pipeline of eating and cooking figured out. There's so much more I want to do with the cooking system, but right now it's pretty basic. It was burnt beyond comprehension. Yeah, it's just like a black blob at that point. It would be super nice if you could like bottle the water, but I don't know. That's kind of weird. You can burn it up to a certain point, and that's fine. It's not an issue. All right, we're almost there on food. We just got to eat a little bit more. And then we can probably sleep. In the morning we can go save. But yeah, there's a bug right now. So what the big problem is that your inventory is going to get overridden. And I should save that. Oh yeah. This is an easy one. Okay, we can fix this right now. So before saving the survival data, we can do stats, save, set save var, and we're going to force it to be survival. Save point is going to be true. Let's call it cabin save is true. Yeah, the stoking does have limits. There are limits on how much you can heat up a fire. It is on purpose right now. Question from a game dev perspective. Like you picked up the pot on accident and turned back into snow. Yep. So right now I am playtesting, so I've got a whole list of notes. Right. So as I playtest the game, my AI filter is removing this, my background blur filter. But yep, every time I do one of these playtesting sessions, I take a whole bunch of notes and then I go and do my homework. So what I want to do right now is when I save via the cabin, we're setting a cabin save to true, but when I save via okay, we got to check something first. If stats is sandbox. We only do this if it's not sandbox. actually, we got to change this on another level. If stats is sandbox, not is sandbox. Yeah, so the save book only gets added not in sandbox mode, so that needs to be fixed. The reason I want to know whether it's a cabin save or not is because if it is a cabin save, I don't want you to be able to replenish your inventory. That would really defeat the purpose of that. And in fact, maybe that shouldn't be happening at all. But let's generalize this a little better. Let's do save location. Let's just set it to 0 for now, and we'll do an enumeration perhaps at some point. Say 0 equals cabin, and let's go to this one. Save location is 1, so that means we're saving using the helicopter. Yeah, I think that information will be useful to have. Yeah, I think so. All right, we're doing pretty good on this kind of stuff. I've got 2 more to cook. I am going to cook them because why not? We can leave that there. We can put a little bit more on the fire. Sweet. Oh, I slept like 5 hours last night. I really need to get some sleep. Oh. Pick up. All right. And I think we got one more. Is it the last one? Yeah. That's the last raw. So we can cook that out. I can drink some more water. Actually, what I might do is pick this up and then fill it up again. And then place it back down. So that way I'm not like totally just wasting time. Because by the time I get to the cabin, it'll probably be melted. Cool. All right, and then I'll pick this up because I don't need that to be there. Let's sleep. That log entry doesn't happen exactly at the right time. I just noticed that. If we go to okay. Interesting. Okay, day 3? Okay, we're almost on day 4. That's, yeah, close to day 4. I'm curious what happens with the trails. I haven't really tested that to see if the trails stay. We'll find out. My branch stake is still there. So let's save. And then we can quit. So the big problem right now is if I continue, it's gonna just like totally destroy my inventory. So if we saved from a cabin, I think I need to disable all that stuff. So let's do that. I can stop the game now actually because it's saved. I'm just gonna mute for a minute. I gotta do something. Be back. Hey, sorry, I am back. I had some stuff to do. Do I need a model in Godot before I can add a collision shape and rigid body to it? Nope, you don't need a model. Actually, collisions and rigid bodies are they're totally independent. So, for example, here's my firewood object. There is a collision shape right here. There's a rigid body right here. And those are totally independent of the mesh, right? So this purple, my fly speed is really, really fast right now. But this purple collision shape, which compression is probably totally crushing, yeah, it's independent of the mesh itself. All right, I was hoping to get more done. I've got some stuff to do, so I might have to end the stream soon. One thing that I want to do is the disabling of the tools and the inventory. Because I already do that. In sandbox mode, I already do that. So I just need to link that, I guess. Load tools. Let's take a look. Okay. So the tool may already know if it's disabled. Let's see. Or disabled override? What's that? Disabled override. Okay. Set sandbox loadout. Okay. Interesting. What did I call it? Cabin save? Cabin save. And it's survival. And stats get save key. Okay, so we disable the tools if the key exists and it's true. Let's try that. It's because you can't really see an object. Well, you have to put in all your objects, right? So if you have a like a mesh instance 3D node, like this, you know, if there's nothing here, it'll just be blank. But you have to drag in the 3D mesh that you create or import from Blender or somewhere else, right? All right, let's give this a shot. That did not work. Let's check something. Oh, no, it was save location. Save location. Yeah, that's why that's wrong. We can check too. Cabin. Or no, what was it? Save book. Hey, look at that. So we're disabled. And I got to do the same on the inventory UI. Oh, is disable not implemented for... Oh, disable override. Oh, it doesn't exist. Okay. Yeah, luckily these two are almost exactly the same, so I can copy this. I should be using an inheritance strategy, but I just couldn't be bothered right now. Oh yeah, and it needs to be an export, right? So that needs to be an export. Why is that? Oh, it's never used. Okay, that's fine. Oh, let's see. Oh, yay. Invalid assignment of disable override with a value of bool. A base of type button? What the heck? Alright, just a typo. Just a typo. So the other part of this is that the UI is disabled, but there's also like a UI replacement issue, I guess. Yeah, it's right here. If allow build inventory. Else allow build inventory is... All right, let's see what happens. It should be okay? Question mark. This should be false. Yeah. Okay. So this should allow me to keep my inventory. Oh, hey, it worked. Okay. Okay, so that's good. That's like a really, really good update there. let's see if my... Oh, yeah. Oh, my steak is there, but it's not in the right configuration. Ah, okay. Okay, so there's an issue with the steak as well with saving. Because, yeah, I added that after. I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't thinking about it. Oh, yeah. It's an inventory node, but I'm not even tracking, like, it's not even updating from ready properly. When you learn how to code, do you learn one specific language and dedicate yourself to that, or can you learn multiple? I learned to code. I learned HTML and JavaScript like 20 years ago, and I just did that for like 3 years. So I recommend people learn like one language at a time. And then obviously I think you're going to branch out as you learn more. Finally caught a live stream. I've seen you post a bit of this in the, in the Terrain 3D. Yeah, I love what they're doing over there in Terrain 3D. I tried actually to use their terrain system for a little bit, but it did not pan out. So I went with my own terrain system, for better, for worse. I'm going to try turning off detailed foliage. I've never really seen what that looks like at night. Seems fine. Fire's still lit. That's good. We got some water here. Let's keep this fire ablazing. Oh, no, I think I just missed it. I just missed it. Is it optimal to learn multiple? Because I want to learn Python. Yeah, I mean, you can try to learn multiple. Python and C# are pretty different, is the only, I would say, problem. But, yeah, no, I would, you know, I always encourage people, like, do what you're excited about. Like, if there's something you want to learn really badly, then maybe focus on that first. If there's something you're learning and it's a bit more of a, like, chore, then, you know, maybe don't jump into that right away. Because I think for a lot of people, it's just, like, getting the momentum up to keep going. Like, you learn something for a week, or you spend a few days at it, but like, how do you keep going after, a month of coding? I think you really just got to do what excites you. That's my general thought. All right, that's pretty sweet, actually. I made a ton of progress on this. I didn't even expect I was going to make this much progress. So that's good. Every now and then the embedded screen resolution gets messed up. That's why I got to resize that. And my FPS is really tanking. It's probably, I don't know why it's happening. I think it's because I'm embedded and I'm streaming and I've got Godot running on a 1440p monitor. I'm pushing my graphics card pretty hard right now, so I'm not too surprised that we're starting to stutter here a little. So I fixed a lot of good stuff lately. The cabin, one of the first issues I was having was that the cabin doesn't stay fixed. Let's try saving this again, by the way. So let's save, let's quit. And let's continue. Can't change my loadout, can't change my inventory. I gotta end the round to do that, so let's see if that works. Whoa. Oh, I didn't have a description on this. Oh, okay. That's a good little find. I'm I don't have metadata on this one either. Interesting. I'm finding that adding the saving functionality has actually made this easier to debug because I like to, test reinstantiating an object. I just have to leave the scene and come back. Which is pretty sweet. I don't even have to quit the game. Yeah, singletons, exports, these are all good things. Why is this description not working? Why do they gotta do me like this? Oh, I just added code somewhere. Oh God. I just added code somewhere. I don't know what I'm doing. Set meta. I put that on the branch stake. Oops. Okay. I'm like super tired right now, so I'm starting to make like silly mistakes. This is definitely when I should like call it and stop. Funny you mentioned save functionality. I literally added save functionality to the game like yesterday. I was a little bit lucky because of the way I designed this game. Survival mode for the last year has not had save functionality, but I always had save functionality in sandbox mode. So when I ported the save functionality to survival mode, I just like hooked all the code up to do the same thing. So I was basically able to get survival mode saving like in a day, which is pretty sweet. Okay, finally that description is fixed. But there are some issues still. Like there's some, I just solved one just now, and like there's two ways to save in this game. When you find a cabin, you can save when you find these little books. You can sign the logbook to save. The other one is by calling a helicopter, which we're going to try right now. And the difference is, like, when you call in the helicopter, you're effectively ending like this run that you're on. And so after that happens, I want the inventory to be able to be reloaded, if that makes sense. Like you can pick new tools, you can, get new inventory stuff. But right now my inventory is kind of like fixed here. And the idea is we're going home, so your inventory clears, right? And I really should put that in the Bushcraft guide now that I think about that. Let's look up what is the helicopter. Calling the chopper using the sat phone, blah, blah, blah. When you go home, the game will be saved and you will lose your inventory. You will, how do I phrase this? You will have an opportunity to reload your inventory from the survival screen. I think what's going to happen is that you're going to have to put stuff on the ground in order to save it in the game. So for instance, let's test it right now. Let's say I throw a little bit of meat on the ground here. See this? So here's some snowshoe hare meat. So because I'm ending the round, everything in my like temporary in my backpack gets dumped out. So let's leave. And we still only have 2 skill points. Let's do. I really want to try fishing. So for instance, let's say you got to this point in the game, you played a couple hours, we got some skill points, we spent them. And it is kind of like an extraction survival, but like much slower paced. It's not fast paced survival like that. Okay, so now we have these 2 available, so I can take these on my next run. I can take some bait. I can take some fishing or some wire, and I can continue. Cross fingers, hope this doesn't wreck the save because I've been working on this for 2 hours. Sweet. Okay, that all. Oh, it didn't work. Crap. It did a weird thing. It kept my existing inventory and added to it. That is really interesting. So now I'm really overweight. I'm overweight on tools mostly. So we can like, I don't know, we can set down some stuff. I think it's probably, oh yeah, it's this. Let's drop this. Now we're good. Okay. That did an interesting thing. It kept my backpack like it was, but added to the inventory. Okay, all this is the same. That's still good. If I save again and quit, I should wait for it to actually save. You know what? I don't like how this is coded. I need to change this. I want the saving to happen instantly. And then I want to show a small timer, then show the check mark. Okay, good. So now I can't change my loadout because I'm at the cabin. Like, the only thing is I paused the game. All right. So conceptually, that's what's happening. If you pause in the cabin, or if you save in the cabin, you can't change your loadout. But once you go home, you can. And all my stuff is still on the ground here. So, the other thing that should happen is your stats should reset between runs, but we'll consider the effects of that at some other time, I think. I think this was the tutorial level. So the tutorial world, I kind of know where everything is. So we can probably get to Fishing Hole pretty quick here. I would like to test out those mechanics and make sure all that still works. Oh, we're going to scare that rabbit away. There it goes. I love the fact that when they get run away, like the tracks are dynamic, right? So you might think, oh, this is a rabbit trail. Like you follow it along and it looks great. But then really you just scared it off. So this is not a part of its normal trail. So you don't get the benefit of it being a trail if it runs off into the distance like this. Like, where the hell did this go? Oh, he just kind of poofed out of existence there, I think. Yeah, I think that's how that works. Let's make sure ice fishing is not broken. Ice fishing. To ice fish, start by using the hand auger to cut a hole in the ice. Cool. That's neat. Sound effect could use some work on the ice. There used to be cracking. Oh, there's cracking sounds. All right, cool. So now we take out the auger, and oh, that's still glitched. That's not supposed to be through your arm. That's less than ideal. And there's something weird. I messed up this implementation. You're supposed to be able to see the water under here, but you can't really. All right, that works. Let's go fishing. It would be nice if you could like lock this and then hold the rotation. Ooh, maybe that's what the lock mechanic should do. Maybe the lock mechanic should like snap the view. How hard would that be to put in? I already had some code for that. The question is, can I hijack it? Yeah, lock direction. Interesting. Let's see. This might be really stupid. I might be breaking something by doing this. Yeah, it's right here. If action is just pressed, hold action. You guys are talking about like teaching, yeah. I call it autodidactic learning. I did learn about coding in school, but when I learned C++ in school, it was very poorly taught, and I learned nothing from that class. I only actually learned C++ many years later. So I think it's super common that even people who like go through school, if they want to stick with programming, they end up learning a lot of it on their own. What I'm doing right now might be really stupid, but we're going to see. Oh, it locks the direction. Oh, no, that's not what I want. Okay, yeah, that's not what I want. I need to put in a flag that allows you to move your head around while keeping your body locked and the action you're doing. I don't have a way to do that currently. So I'm not gonna mess with this right now. That's not the right move. Ooh, some interesting bugs happening here. Yeah, I'd love to be able to lock this and then look around, but that's all right. Fish activity's low. I'm wasting all my bait. I probably should stop fishing here. But because I have my inventory... Oh, I have part of my inventory. I have branches. I don't have any firewood, so let's go get some firewood. I'm just happy that I spend way too much time on my PC, so I know some things. Yeah, makes sense. If you're spending a lot of time on your PC anyways, might as well learn to code, might as well learn to do some cool stuff. All right, let's get some... Oh, that's so interesting you mentioned ECE. That's what I did. I did electrical engineering, so I know all about assembly and C. Like I said, I took 3 classes on C++. The last one was good. The first 2 were awful. Our curriculum was like from the 90s, and it was very old stuff, and it just wasn't very good. And fun fact, in my experience so far, there's a lot of electrical engineers who have found their way into game development, probably because we're a bunch of nerds, but yeah, there's a surprising number. Like, and I say surprising because like it's obvious that people in computer science get into games, but a lot of electrical engineers end up in games, which is, yeah, a little bit unexpected. Ooh, I did not mark my ice fishing hole. What are the odds that I can find my ice fishing hole again? Oh, there it is. Okay. Sweet. Sweet. Let's make a fire while we wait here. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Oh, shit. I really like the new targeting system. I think it's pretty slick. All right. Also don't have any water. So I probably got 1. Yeah, I have 1 right here. Let's drink some water. That's cool. Ugh. Ooh, that's pretty. I love the way the fog sits in that valley. I've noticed this in the tutorial level, that the fog kind of sits in the valley really nice. Here, let me turn on a debug. I'm literally debating in sandbox mode, just turning on all the debug options. This is what I call super jump, which is exactly what it sounds like. You can jump about 1,000 feet in the air. And then the illusion of the snow really gets broken when you turn on super jump, because it obviously is not moving. One of the reasons that such a mechanic will not be in the game. But yeah, when the snow is heavy, the fog is so nice. It's such a cool effect. Anyways, turn that off. Shenanigans. Yeah, animation player, 100%. I teach game programming as well, and I tell students, like, you can do so much with the animation player just by keyframing the things you want to happen in your game, and you can get away with very low code or no code approaches to making some super dynamic stuff. So that is pretty cool. Let's try ice fishing again. I gotta fix that bug. That's the same bug we see in the fireplace, so something obviously is happening there. Oh, here we go. Fish on the line. There we go. Oh, right into the fire. Excellent. Amazing. Incredible, even. There we go. Ow. Ow. Getting burned alive here. We could cook it too if we want. But you know what? I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to take my pot and we're going to hightail it out of here because we are dangerously far from camp and stuff could go wrong. I'm probably going to get really dehydrated on my journey back. But I guess if I'm going to be smart, what I should do is collect some water and then go drink it. I just realized that the period thing here is not worth it. This little period is now, it actually causes bugs. So I'm not putting a period in the debug message anymore. Oh, I can see my smoke. That's cool. A little smoke signal out there. God, I love 3D games. There's so much like emergent stuff that just happens in a 3D game if you do it like a certain way. It's so neat. Let's eat some rations. Oh, that outline is hard to see against the snow. I just realized that. We can eat some hair. And you know what? We can also sharpen up this guy. And do I have any water left on me? Is the question. Wow, that shadow is horrifying. I think Godot must use a like a depth prepass to render shadows, where any alpha less than 0.99 gets discarded. That's what it looks like to me. It's cool that the fire and the shadow do render shadows, though. The fire and the smoke render shadows. I think that's sweet. All right, we're getting fully loaded up, and then we're heading back. And you know what? I might as well go all the way back to the cabin. Catch the sunset on the hill here if we're lucky. Ooh. It's a good looking moon. For the heat wave, is that a canvas shader, or did you figure out a way to get alpha through alpha to work for spatial shaders? The heat wave is a... I was going to say it's a billboard shader. Yeah, it's two billboard shaders, two Y-facing billboards. It's actually pretty simple. It just uses alpha to scissor thresholding, and that turned out to be really, really performant. I was actually having issues with full alpha on the fire with the billboard. It was looking real whack. But eventually I'm going totally in the wrong direction. Holy crap. We're getting lost. Getting lost in this game is such a treat. I thought I knew where I was relative to my home base, and I am now lost. Let's find some high ground. I gave up on refraction for glass because it made my fire not visible when viewed through the glass. Yep. The alpha pass first. Yeah, the first. It does back to front ordering of alpha materials, but if a material is set to depth pre-pass and the alpha is less than 0.99, it discards the pixel before it gets to the fragment shader. So I can't remember if that happens before or after opaque rendering. That happened. Yeah, it does happen first. You're right. That happens first. Oh my god, I can't believe how lost I am. There's a cabin. Is that my cabin? Am I going to have honey butter? Yes, 100%. I'm going to have honey butter. That is that's why I need to get the crafting table going, because I want to be able to combine ingredients. It's going to be such a simple thing where you find honey and you find butter and you bring it and you put it together and put it in a crafting table. And then you can make honey butter, and then you can put it on everything you cook. That's my plan. But and it's going to enhance the value, right? If you can I place stuff on... Sorry, I'm tangenting here, but can I place stuff on a table? Will that work? Holy crap, that works. I didn't expect that to work. That's not something I programmed in. Because there's no physics, actually. Fun fact, there's no physics on any of these objects. They're all static. Just because I wanted to reduce the physics burden in the game. But yes, honey butter, 100%. Why am I throwing away my raw stuff? I have raw fillets here too. Yeah, whatever. That's good. All right. Here's my glass shader, in case you're curious. This one is real wonky. This does not do any. It does some UV manipulation stuff, but it's not like a real Fresnel effect or anything. It has to have antibiotic properties. Hell yeah. It's gonna make you resistant to everything. It's an Outdoor Boys reference. For those of you who don't know, you gotta watch the Outdoor Boys. This game is like me having watched enough Outdoor Boys and being like, I need to make a game that's like that. Literally, that's where this all came from. All right, we saving. We saved the game, and we quitting because I've been streaming for like 3 hours. Okay, see you, Bolo. Thanks for coming in. I'm trying to debate if there's anything else I want to do. I don't think so. I think I shall quit. Yeah, the save system is working surprisingly well. I'm thinking about pushing a build out pretty soon, as long as I get the major bugs out. I'm debating how to do this. Oh, even this shouldn't be changeable. This shouldn't be changeable. Interesting. All right, got some work to do. Anyways, that is it for the stream. I am signing off. Thanks for joining, all and everyone, and I will see you later. Take care.